If you want to be available for what's most important to you, you must become unavailable for what's not. The irony for those who have disorganized and non-prioritized schedules is they can't seem to find the time to fix it. If that sounds like you, it's time to make prioritizing your number one priority. Like today. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to prioritize your schedule and create a clarified calendar. Before I do, I'd like to show you a picture of me when I had a mohawk. It was my Spartan phase. There's a period of my life where I didn't like wearing shirts. But seriously, just as we used a standard in the last video to cultivate an empowered mind, we're going to use a standard to curate and coordinate your calendar. You're going to ask yourself, is this the best use of my time? Is this the best use of my time? Keeping in mind that being your best self requires ample amounts of recreation and rest. You have to be able to enjoy what brings you joy and make what's most important, most important. Just as a shield blocks an attack and protects your body, a clarified calendar deflects distraction and protects your priorities. In other words, it's being able to say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. Let's start with the art of politely saying no. It's a simple word, but sometimes extremely hard to say. How good are you at saying no? When I go like this, let's all say no together. Did you say no? I'm sorry, I can't hear through this screen. For most of my life, I've suffered from a horribly debilitating disease. And you might suffer from it too. It's called people-pleasing. See, for the longest time, I couldn't say no to people. It was as if I didn't realize that when I said yes to one thing, I was unintentionally saying no to something else, something way more important to me. Like when I'd say yes to working late, I was unintentionally saying no to spending quality time with my family. And so to overcome this people-pleasing problem, begin saying yes to saying no. Seriously, begin saying yes to saying no. Because it's impossible to please everyone, and if you worry too much about letting others down, you're guaranteed to let yourself down. It all comes down to this. If you want to be available for what's most important to you, you must become unavailable for what's not. Remember when you were a kid and were given an allowance? Do you remember what you spent it on? If you're like me, you spent every cent on toys and candy. What were some of your favorite candies growing up? Go ahead and leave it in the comments below. A few of mine would include Skittles, Starburst, Sour Patch Kids, Mambas, Mike and Ike's, Hot Tamales, Airheads, Warheads, Lemonheads, Fun Dip, Fruit Snacks, Flavor Tootsie Rolls, Candy Corn, Crunch Bars, Caramel Apple Suckers, Butterfinger, Baby Ruth, Big League Chew, Rolos, Reese's Pieces, Marshmallow Peeps, Lifesavers, Laffy Taffies, Now and Laters, which I actually sold in junior high for a slight profit, Jelly Bellies, Jolly Ranchers, Almond Joy, Runts, Nerds, Dweebs, which don't really sound like good names for candy, Gummy Bears, Gummy Worms, Gummy Sharks, and Gushers, to name a few. Countless cavities and a few extremely painful root canals later, I've come to the conclusion that for me, candy is a poor purchase. And no one wants to make a poor purchase. Thankfully, now that we're all grown up, we've been given a new allowance in the form of time. 24 hours a day to be exact, to use as you so choose. There is a caveat though. If you don't choose how to spend your time will decide how to spend you. Let me say that again. If you don't choose how to spend your time will decide how to spend you. I believe that's why so often we feel spent. The solution? A clarified calendar, of course. Now before today, had you ever heard of a clarified calendar? If not, it's because I made it up. But it does now exist, and it can change your life. See, a clarified calendar spends its time strategically. A clarified calendar says yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. A clarified calendar deflects distraction and protects your priority. Do you have a clarified calendar? In other words, does your calendar accurately reflect and protect what matters most to you? If it does, You're way ahead of the game and probably wouldn't be watching this. If it doesn't, this is going to be a game changer. Here's what you have to realize. If it's not on your calendar, it's not going to happen. Because if it's not on your calendar, it's lacking the urgency and importance needed for you to make it happen. So right now, while it's fresh in your mind, I want you to put it in your calendar when you're going to work on your clarified calendar. Right now, go ahead and do that. When in the next 3 days can you commit to working for at least 1 hour on your clarified calendar? And to help, I've made a Clarified Calendar Template available to download for free at jeffteresi.com. I'll go ahead and leave a link for you in the show notes. So remember, begin saying yes to saying no, and create your own clarified calendar just as soon as you can. If you do, you will break through to your next big breakthrough. And once you've downloaded the clarified calendar, you're going to see that step 1 is to define what matters most to you. And one of the things that I believe should be at the top of everyone's list is this: dancing. Make sure you dance to at least one song a day, because music and dancing are magical, because they can immediately and immensely modify your mood. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Cue the music! Whew, it's hot in here. So until next time, remember, you're not alone, you are loved. Whatever you do, believe in yourself. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ding that bell so you're notified when the next video is out. Make sure you post a comment below and let me know what you thought. And please hit that share button and share it with someone you love.